Hi everyone, how are you guys doing? I am doing so good. It's such a beautiful day out today and I have a couple things I want to get done. It's pretty late, it's already 3 o'clock, but my husband will be home at around 5-ish and I'm trying to get some stuff done before he gets home. My mom took some time off work at the end of the day and so she's here helping with the kids. I always have that question when I'm thinking about like what other people are doing with their kids while they get stuff done. So there's my answer. I got one over here watching me and then one is with my mom. I'm thinking I want to make like meatball subs. I just saw Becky from Maker Homestead make some meatball subs. They looked really good. Here. I am trying out some new stuff as far as my camera goes. You can see that. I have my camera up there and then I'm filming on my phone right now. So we'll see what the difference is in quality and let me know what you think about it. But the kitchen's a disaster, so I figured we can take care of the kitchen before we start cooking and stuff because this is gross. But the goal is to make a homemade dinner for my family and go to bed with a clean kitchen. So we're just gonna start by loading the dishwasher. That way I can do some hand washing and then I'll just feel better. If you're new to my channel, you might be a little bit confused by my living situation if you watch some of my videos. I feel like it can be kind of confusing. So I am a 26-year-old, a newly 26-year-old, and I live with my husband and my 2 kids. I have a daughter and a son, and they're still toddlers, but we live in a home that we just moved to, and we're really excited to be here. It's much bigger than our last apartment, if you have watched back a couple of my videos, but we live with my mom and she is a great grandma and she spends a lot of her time in her room. So when I say she's here, it means she's not in her room. My little family tends to occupy the majority of the house just because that's where we're comfortable. And my mom tends to be more comfortable in her room. So she does spend time with us, but she also likes her alone time. So yeah, if you were a little confused by that, it's me, my husband, my kids, and my mom. And she works full time. My husband works full time. I am a stay-at-home mom. And yeah, my mom has 4 other kids other than me. But 3 of them are teenagers. And so you will see them sometimes in my videos, but they only live here part-time because she has shared custody. Yeah, maybe that's a little bit more explanation and less confusing for some of you. And my mom is one of my biggest supporters when it comes to my YouTube channel. A lot of you might think that she might not be helping out as much with the cleaning, but she definitely is usually the one that is watching the kids while I'm doing my YouTube videos. And my husband, obviously, if he's here, he's watching them as well. But yeah, she supports me in a lot of other ways aside from just cleaning. And I'm so lucky and grateful to have the relationship with my mom that I do. And I know a lot of people don't have that luxury of having that relationship with their mother or having them as close as I do. All right, that's done. Now we gotta focus on putting some stuff away off the counters and then we can do all the hand washing, clean the counters, sweep the floor, and then we'll be good. Do you like my hot pads? I made these I crocheted these. So while I'm cleaning this up, I kind of just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit real quick and ask you about your holiday. Did you guys celebrate? If you did celebrate, like, did you have a good time? Did you spend time with family? Since I'm filming on my phone, I'm having a hard time not looking at myself, so I'm sorry, but I'll try to get better at just looking at the camera and not this, you know. We had a really good holiday. We celebrated Christmas and my birthday, my daughter's birthday. She just turned 3, so it was pretty crazy. It was like busy, but I loved hanging out with family, and my kids are super little, so they got like 2 things, but they had a blast with those 2 things. I got some new bread pans. I'm really excited about them. I've been making, just throw that. I've been making bread. This is sandwich bread. It's brown because it's whole wheat bread, but My brother got me a new loaf pan, so now I have 2. So one recipe makes 2 loaves. This is a loaf cut in half. It's delicious. I'll link the recipe if you're interested. I just started making it and it's amazing. Cost of groceries is absolutely insane and it's really kind of hard to deal with. There's that guy. It's hard to afford groceries, to be honest, so I've been trying to like offset the cost a little bit by making some more stuff at home that I can, you know, that's within my abilities. I've been having a lot of fun with this bread making endeavor I've been doing. I know that I said the cost of groceries is insane, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I started making the bread, and it definitely is. But I just am having fun with learning about bread and like the sciences behind it and how it, you know, the texture changes based on proofing time and kneading and amount of water and all the different things that go into bread and all the little tiny aspects of it. But so it's mostly just a fun thing, but it definitely is super helpful to keep my food budget as low as it can be right now. Okay, I got this counter taken care of and cleaned off. I'm losing daylight though, so I need to start hurrying up and figuring out what I'm gonna do for dinner. So I pulled out some beef out of the freezer to start thawing, and then I'm gonna start on this recipe. This is the best buttery 1-hour dinner rolls from Scratch Pantry, which is Acre Homestead's website. But since the bread has to rise, I want to make sure that I get the bread started before I start the dishes, you know. And some of you are wondering if I have a dishwasher or not. I do have a dishwasher, but it's kind of terrible. It doesn't work very well, and it's older. And it's like missing a couple pieces on the inside, so it's just not like, it's not the best, most efficient dishwasher. So I don't use it as much as I probably could, as well as like compounded by the fact that I also don't do dishes every single day. I know that I need to and I should, and I'm working towards that, but I don't do dishes every day. So when I am doing dishes and I'm filming it, I'm usually doing like 1 load in the dishwasher, like I'll unload it and then reload it, and so that's 1 load, and then I just hand wash whatever's left over and let it air dry, and then I put it away. So because I don't like just doing a load of dishes in the dishwasher and then leaving it, because then I'm leaving it and they just stack up and stack up. So for me, it makes it a lot easier. That's why you see me hand washing in my videos. Okay, so this recipe calls for, where is it? Active dry yeast. I got my milk and my water in here that I just heated up, and then I'm gonna add my yeast once this cools down. You don't want it any hotter than 110 degrees because you'll kill your yeast. So this is 113, 118, so still too hot. And I'll link her recipe down below just so you guys can try it out if you want to. I really liked it. I made this for Thanksgiving, but I forgot the salt. Also, if you can hear my kids, I'm sorry, we live here, so. Ooh.
Did we ever charge those new ones that we bought?
I don't know. They have a little bit of charge in them, but I think not. So we're gonna let this sit for 10 minutes while the active dry yeast proofs or activates, I guess. The coating around the yeast has to dissolve. And then once it's all bubbly, that's how you know it's ready and alive. So we've got our water, milk, butter, honey, active dry yeast, salt, and then all we need is our all-purpose flour and then an egg wash at the end. I think I'm not gonna have enough flour. We'll probably have to substitute some whole wheat, which is fine. One, two, it was 2. 3. Start with 3.5, work our way up if we need to. that is definitely really sticky still. But I'm gonna keep kneading it. Let's see how it feels in a few minutes. Okay, this is what we're looking like. Not super sticky, but like not dry either. So I'm just gonna take some good old Pam from my bowl, put it in there, flip it over, spray it again. We just don't want it to dry out. So we're gonna let this rise for 15 minutes, shape it, let it rise again, and then we're gonna bake it. I know that this video is quite a bit different from my other videos in the fact that I'm cleaning and cooking, but I thought I just wanted to share with you a little bit of like what my evenings tend to look like as a young mom. It generally is me doing dishes, like I am, and cooking dinner. So usually when I have time to clean the kitchen, it's when my husband gets home from work. And I also have to make dinner during that time. So I usually try to just do it all at the same time while I have someone to sit on the kids, and it kind of becomes my me time because I get to just relax as much as possible while you're cleaning, you know? I don't physically relax, but I mentally relax, I think. I usually listen to an audiobook when I'm doing this because it helps me just unwind and let my brain kind of focus on something a little bit more fun for me. So hopefully you like this style of video. It's something a little bit new for me. I'm kind of testing the waters and seeing what I like. I am enjoying talking to the camera more often and learning how to be more confident in my body and like in who I am as a person, and being able to put that on the internet is kind of a big deal. I watch these videos sometimes and I'm like, ugh, you know, a little bit self-conscious and all these things. Angle's not great, whatever, but it's really helpful for me to put them out there because I get to have this community and talk to you guys about your lives and your struggles. And so, if I can help anyone just not be so alone when it comes to the monotony of life sometimes, that's really all I'm trying to do. And I don't think my videos will ever be very curated and polished because I'm just really not that kind of person. And my life is not that kind of life right now. I physically, and that's not possible for me to make these videos super polished and nice because my kids are usually screaming in the background. My mom is kind of loud sometimes, and my husband plays video games in the back. And so it's just not realistic for me to be able to spend 100% of my attention on my videos and also on cooking and cleaning and doing whatever I'm showing you. So it kind of just is the way it is. Sometimes I'm talking to someone, sometimes I'm parenting, and and I think that's kind of what a lot of people sometimes enjoy about my channel, is that I like to have it be my most authentic life as much as possible. Also, while I was filming this video and then editing it back, I was kind of noticing how it might seem a little bit confusing, kind of maybe, because I'm doing dishes and then I'm cooking and then I'm doing more dishes and then I'm cooking more and then I'm doing dishes. But I wanted to leave it that way because that's really what happened during the evening. And I really just wanted to keep that there because that's really what I was doing. I was doing a little bit of dishes and then getting something done, the next step of dinner done. And then I would do more dishes and then I would get the next step of dinner done so that I was being the most efficient that I could be in the amount of time that I had. After I was done working on the dishes during this one section, I checked on the bread and the bread had risen all the way, so I stopped to shape it. I'm not like a super master shaper of bread. I really don't know much about it yet, but I just kind of made them into like little hot dog shapes because I was going for like a roll, kind of like a bread roll like a sandwich roll that you could put meatballs on. And so I think I got there. I think pretty good. And then after that, I just covered them with a towel, let them rise again, and then went back to doing more dishes. As I get older, I'm really trying to broaden my horizons when it comes to food. It's kind of hard because my husband's a really picky eater, so I have to be a little bit selective about what I make. But for the most part, I've been able to expand my skills. And it's also really, really a proud thing for me because with emetophobia, I used to have a lot of restrictions when it came to eating, because of the fear of food poisoning. But I've come a really, really long way and I've been able to make different kinds of foods that I never really thought I would. I make chicken like all the time. We eat chicken a lot in my house, and I'm actually just really proud of that fact that I'm able to eat chicken that I make for myself without overanalyzing the doneness or or like I check the temperature and then I'm good. Like once it reaches the right temperature, I'm happy with it. But yeah, I don't overcook it like I used to. So yeah, I've come a long way when it comes to different kinds of foods. And so now I feel like I'm finally able to just work on like other skills like canning. I've been canning a lot more. I canned turkey over Thanksgiving because we got a couple free turkeys when you spend a certain amount of money. And we obviously didn't need to eat 3 or 4 turkeys, so I canned them and they're in the pantry. So I'm pretty excited about that. But I have been canning and then I've been working on bread and I made a quiche and just making things taste yummy. So I'm gonna start working on the meatballs and I kind of just winged this. I don't really measure that much. I just kind of go by smell and meatballs are tough because you can't really taste them. Obviously they're raw, so you kind of just have to eyeball it, I guess, or go by recipe, but I wasn't going to do that. Added some breadcrumbs. Those are home baked bread that I that was going to go stale, and so I just put it in the oven, dried it up, and then put it in the food processor. And then after that, I added onion powder, garlic powder, seasoned salt, and 2 eggs, and then mushed it all together, formed it into meatballs, put it in the cast iron, and then I put the cast iron into a preheated oven while I worked on the sauce. So I've got this little weird looking beef that didn't thaw, so I'm just gonna put it in here. I'm basically just gonna season this the same way I seasoned the meatballs. Because this little piece is still frozen, so it's not seasoned. So I'm going to use that marinara, the moisture from it, to scrape up all the hard stuff off the bottom, the fond, just so that, because it's flavor, but also it's going to be easier to clean later. And I'm gonna cook this down because I really don't want a runny marinara sauce making the bread soggy. So I'm gonna try to cook it down as much as I can in the time that the meatballs are cooking. And then while I'm doing that, I'm gonna unload the dishwasher so that I can get a lot of these dishes in the dishwasher so I can stop hand washing. I'm learning how to clean up as I go. So this is me cleaning up as I go, okay? Sorry for the sass, you guys. I didn't mean it, but I just wanted to say I'm still working on the audio. I'm still working on the video footage. So be kind. Let me know what I can do to improve. But just, yeah, it's kind of interesting learning how to take videos of yourself and make it sound nice and look okay. And yeah, you can see that I pulled out some stuff out of the dishwasher that like didn't get clean all the way. I'm not like really good at loading the dishwasher in general, so I honestly prefer hand washing, but whatever. Okay, I'm tired. I've been at this for a really long time. So I'm gonna chill out for a little bit and sit down, have some water. Tired. Okay, so I just took the meatballs out of the oven. This is what they look like. Really, really good. I'm just gonna put them in the sauce. That's just been simmering. You can tell it's also like thickened up a ton. So it's not gonna make our bread all soggy. Let the meatballs get all nice and browned up, and they didn't have a lot of fat in them, so I didn't have to like drain off any grease or anything. I just scooped them out of the cast iron and put them into the sauce and let them kind of chill there while I worked on the bread. The bread had come out of the oven and was pretty much cooled by this point. So I just cut it in half, and then I kind of like scooped out some of the bread from the top of the roll because it was just a bit too much bread. And so then I added the meatballs and some shreddy cheese and then put it back in the oven, let it get all nice and melty while I worked on the dressing for the salad. I just did, it's green leaf lettuce cut up, and for the dressing I did avocado oil, a little bit of balsamic vinegar, a little bit of Dijon mustard, some garlic powder, seasoned salt, and a little bit of honey. And then I just whisked it up and it was delicious. So yeah, that was my dinner. I feel really good about it. It was really good. It was yummy and the kitchen was clean when I went to bed. And I think we did a pretty good job of accomplishing our goals that we set out on this evening. So thank you so much for hanging out with me and I will talk to you later. Bye.